I thought Derrick's. Sorry, but this is true. I thought Derrick's old face was looking extra old during this meeting. Two new episodes of Age of Attraction dropped on Netflix today. I'm only going to be talking about episode 6, though today I'll address episode 7 tomorrow, as I've only watched episode 6. Today we had the awkward meetings of families in this episode, some of the families. Maybe even more awkward meeting of friends with one of the couples. Let's begin with John and Teresa. John was excited for the family visit. He is kind of glad that they are seeing his family first because it will probably be easier since he's nervous about meeting her family. They seem to agree, or at least John agrees with Teresa, that if her kids don't like him, it's probably done between them. And she wouldn't have gone out with him in the first place if she knew his age, which is why Teresa has been so apprehensive about him meeting her kids. Even though I think she's thankful for their time together and their connection, she is still definitely worried about him meeting her kids. So they did meet John's sister and mom first, and it was a very, very awkward meeting. His mom was clearly shocked to see that Vanessa was a much older woman than him. And they did a good job of explaining the concept of the show, how they didn't know each other's ages. Then they had the big age reveal and then living together. Teresa said that it was all compatibility between them. And John basically agreed that they've had a smooth go. Teresa decided to hide the fact that she had children and hide her real age from them, which I don't think John's mom or sister appreciated, which I think is very fair. When she excused herself to the bathroom, John talked alone with his family and told them about her having children and that she's been married before. He would not tell his sister or mom how old Teresa's kids are. And yeah, later in the episode, when John and his sister met up alone, his sister told John that she and their mother did not like the fact that she kept her age from them. So John revealed to his sister that Teresa is 54 and her kids are close to his age, and one of her sons is 2 years older than him. And so while there was all this worry about Teresa's kids, I don't think John's sister and mother are as accepting as John thought they would be, although it's Teresa's fault because she decided to hide her age from them and, of course, hide the children from them and just hiding a lot from them, which is not being yourself with your partner. And I think Teresa is showing signs, much like Jorge, that these older people can be manipulative when it comes to these older, younger relationships. So it's rough go for John and Teresa right now. They do have one of the strongest connections on the show. We'll see how it goes when John meets her kids. Could be even worse. Now, my two little water signs, Pfeiffer and Derek, had their meeting. Before the meeting, Pfeiffer was in a bad mood. She was very nervous for this family meeting. And it's because she was stressed. She was a stressed Pisces. I understand her 100% as a fellow Pisces. When we are stressed, that is when our bad moods come out. We do not handle stress very well. She didn't even want to talk to him about scenarios of meeting families. Derek, as usual, was a very patient Cancer with her. And I think Derek does a great job of making her be calmer. In Confessional, Pfeiffer talked about how her family has never seen her emotional or vulnerable with a man, so this will be a first. When they were first together, Pfeiffer didn't want to sit close to Derek, which I found very awkward. They not only have this big age gap, but they also are an interracial relationship, which they haven't touched upon on the show. And I don't know if they have addressed this themselves, but they probably should. So that adds an extra layer to Pfeiffer's concerns, probably. But both of her parents met Derek. I thought Derek's sorry, but this is true. I thought Derek's old face was looking extra old during this meeting. I said it from the beginning. Derek has a great body. He has an old face. So them acting so shocked to find out he's 43 is strange to me. But, whatever. Pfeiffer was surprised to see her parents sitting together to see her because they've been divorced and they haven't sat together for such a long time. But it felt like her dad really liked Derek, and I feel like she thought her dad was going to be the tougher critic of this relationship. But it was the mom that I think was asking the tough questions. She asked Derek if he went on a show or why he went on a show like this, and he talked about how dating wasn't going well for him, and maybe it was him, and it felt like a concept that could work. They learned about his two children being 15 and 5. And Pfeiffer said she was looking for someone with maturity and who knows how to raise a family because she wants a big family. And, this could be a way to start a big family. But when they divided, Derek was the only good guy so far, and not all the families have been met. But Derek was smart to take her dad to the side to talk one-on-one while Pfeiffer and her mom talked one-on-one. Pfeiffer talked to her mom about feeling great about the experience and feeling so lucky in this experience, and her and Derek have not had a single argument so far. The mom is concerned about the two children and Pfeiffer being 23 and how Pfeiffer was bad at babysitting in the past, so how are you going to watch these children? I think fair critiques by Pfeiffer's mother, to say the least. Meanwhile, her father and Derek had a great conversation because her father is impressed because he's saying it's unusual for Pfeiffer to be this comfortable in a situation like this. And her father was telling Derek that he thinks Pfeiffer will make this work. And in a confessional, her dad got very emotional with joy, saying that it makes him happy that he can trust his child to, make big decisions like this now. The mom was also impressed by their communication and saying this could be different in the real world, though, which I think is very fair. When Pfeiffer and Derek were alone, they shared a little kiss in bed. I don't think they've done more than kissing so far. Derek has been patient with that, unlike the older women on this show. Pfeiffer told Derek that this whole meeting went better with her parents than she thought it would. So a good start, but I think they still need to meet Derek's family. Vanessa and Logan were struggling at the beginning of this episode. Vanessa sees all these potential red flags in him, that he's nervous about this situation. Vanessa feels like the one in her siblings that always screws up relationships. You think... all my commentary on Vanessa this season has been how she is so insecure despite her big age. This kind of felt like more of that. The meeting with Logan's parents, I think, went better than expected, only because Logan's parents are cool. I really liked Logan's parents. I mean, I liked Pfeiffer's parents too. John's mom was fine. John's sister is fine. I mean, they had more contention, but they were still fine. But Logan's parents were very cool. Logan had to start drinking very hard when his mom asked about Vanessa's age. Vanessa revealed she was 20 years older, and his mom said she wouldn't have guessed that. I will say Vanessa does not look 49, so she does look good for her age too. When Logan was alone with his parents, Logan talked about them having a strong connection, but talked about how she is older and mature and knows when she wants something and when she sees herself doing something. I think Logan's parents were trying to get him to look ahead at potential kids because Vanessa's not getting any younger. And my favorite comment of the episode was when Logan's dad says that Logan is at the age when guys start to get their shit together. And so I feel like Logan's dad was trying to be proud of his son. But they had a better meeting than expected. Chris and Leah are struggling. Leah met Chris's mom. She learned that Leah is 41, even though his mom was saying that she looked 30 at most. Leah also looks good for her age. His mom was saying that he looks happy, but then also said that she's been praying for the right person for her son, but doesn't know if that is Leah. Leah gave them time to chat, and he talked to his mother about his concerns about living together with Leah and how that hasn't been working because Leah's love language is quality time and she wants to be around him all the time, and he likes his alone time. I liked that his mom kind of not only confirmed his fears about living together, saying that Chris is not used to living with someone, but also kind of stuck up for Leah, that Leah might not be used to living with someone right now either. After this meeting, Chris tried to talk to Leah about his feelings, about being so unsure about their thing after talking to his mom, which Leah kind of got her feelings hurt. Although I think Leah is just getting mixed messages from Chris because something will go good, but then he always brings it down because of his concerns for the future. Leah is feeling like Chris is not able to be himself with her, which he agrees. He doesn't seem to like that she gets her feelings hurt when he tries to express himself. She wants him to give her a real chance and be able to relax and be himself. He broke down and cried. Look, it's hard to be vulnerable with someone. I understand Chris in this situation. To really put your feelings out there, to give your concerns. I don't really think Chris wants to hurt Leah. I think he just wants to put his concerns on the table because things are getting heavy, because this couple from the beginning has wanted to have a good time and maybe not be in it for the long haul. Even though I think Leah at this point might want to, I think he is very, very unsure about that. So they had a tough moment at the end with Chris being overwhelmed and crying. And that brings us to Libby and Andrew. And they didn't have their family. I don't know if they're still going to meet each other's family, but they had friends. It's very strange to me that Libby only had her friends come, but maybe her parents or something will come in the next episode. Because if not, I'm concerned for Libby, why her family didn't come on this show when she's on this big old age gap dating show. Anyway, Libby's friends said holy shit when they saw Andrew walking up. The girls were giddy to see her, but then they asked about his bracelet. He said it was from his daughter that made it, and then they learned that his children were 12 and 14, which I think immediately made Libby's friends concerned. And I think rightfully so for many different reasons. They also learned that he was 38. And then Andrew's friends, who I assume are also in their late 30s, had this awkward group meeting between Libby and her friends who are in their early 20s and he and his friends in their late 30s. They tried to gel together as a group. I'm just not so sure that that happened. Libby was talking about how she was looking for an emotionally mature and intelligent man, and that's why she came on the show in the first place. Libby's friends feel like Libby has matured during this process, but think she has rose-colored glasses on where the whole kid situation is, because Libby is so young. Is she really ready to be a mom to kids that aren't that much younger than her? We then also learned that Andrew's friends were not surprised that he was with a blonde person in their early to mid-20s. So it seems as though Andrew has a type, and it seems as though my initial gut feeling about Andrew that he might be a creep was probably more in sync than these last couple episodes when I have been trying to take up for Andrew for being patient. He might have just came on this show in the first place to try and bag a younger blonde, and that seems to be what his friends were commenting on. I've been saying for a couple videos now with this couple that it's not going to work. Libby's age, she's not ready for kids. I don't know if she does have rose-colored glasses. I don't know, like some people have said in the comments, that Libby is on this show to be on reality TV. Either way, I just don't see it working, and I don't know if Andrew's intentions are actually as pure as the last couple episodes made it seem to be, when it seems like Libby is just his usual type. I don't know. But a kind of awkward episode with all of these loved ones meetings. We have one more episode to go this week until the finale next week. I will try and comment on episode 7 tomorrow.